Right, so my name's Becky Lee. I'm from Hereford. I've known Susannah probably a little while now. I've watched her YouTube videos for the last year or so. Came on a course for the first time a month ago, and then I'm back here again today, and I am volunteering with her today. So I guess I know her a lot more on the online from the YouTube videos that she's done. The course I did was sourcing below market value properties. There's so much, you learn so much on her courses. She is like a bit like a, what do they call it, pocket rocket. So she's just like firing out information all the time. And it's just giving you ideas. It opens your mind up to what you can do, the things you can think about. And what I like about Susannah is that she's very smart in her way of thinking, and she's very efficient in the way that she does things. So which is why I was looking towards her for a mentor, because I want to be able to learn from other people who've done it, and then she's sort of looked at ways, how can I do this better? How can I save time? How can I be smarter about this? You know, without me having to go through all of that. So that's what the mentoring is for, to learn from someone like that. And there's lots of things that I didn't really think about. I mean, I've been in property for a little while, single lets that I've got a portfolio of, but I just want to get smarter. And there are so many smarter ways of doing things and making the most of your money, making the most of your asset, etc. And that's where I'm going. She's like way further ahead, but you know, I'm following in that path. After I did the course, I realised that for me, an easy way to buy discounted would be buying at auction. So I'd always thought about it, but I suppose through lack of knowledge and experience, you sort of become a bit fearful and you don't really touch it because you don't really know about it. But after doing the sourcing course with Susannah, I did learn a lot more things, and it was not as scary. So since then, I have been to an auction with one of the other mentees, actually. We went to an auction literally this week in Birmingham. So that was nice to get an idea of how it works and so on. And there are a lot of things that I like about going to auctions, how quickly it can, you know, you put down a deposit straight away and exchange straight away. So it's that the fallout rate is very, very low. So it's quite more committed sale. So that's interesting. And also, obviously, if you do your research, you know you can get a bargain. You know what price, if you bought at that price, you would be getting a really good below market value deal. So that excites me. Yeah, so that's one of the results that I got from doing Susannah's course. So currently I have 4 properties, which is brings in quite good cash flow. But I think ultimately in the long term for me, financial freedom means time rather than just money. So actually, if I wanted to, I could give up my job right now, but I actually really enjoy my job. So, but in the longer term, I'd like to have a business where it was quite passive, in the sense that I'm not in that business. I've got people that manage those properties, and I'd have to spend very little time in there, and then that gives me the time to go and enjoy other things that I like to do. So in terms of fleshing out in detail what that looks like, I've got an idea, and I've actually just joined Susannah's online mentoring, and the first module that we do is business planning. So that is what I'm working on at the minute. I've got an idea sort of in my head what I want, and then it's just grinding down to how does that work in terms of bringing the property into it. So yeah, it's quite a simple plan really. The biggest obstacle in terms of, you know, after the first property and trying to grow, was definitely not having people around me that was going through the same thing, or thinking the same thing, or wanting the same outcome. So as in people not in property investing as such. And it was difficult because, you know, you can talk about it, people don't really understand what you're saying, and they might try and give you some advice, and they can be very general advice. And also for me, I wouldn't really take advice seriously from somebody who was not doing what the topic is, as in property. So that was the hard part, I think, on a day-to-day basis, having someone to chat to who knew about property investing, knew, you know, if I mentioned something, they'd know straight away what I was talking about, you know. That I think that was the difficult part. So trying to find a peer group, I guess, of like-minded people around you, that was difficult. And I think also having accountability as well, because left to my own devices, I'm still in the head of, oh yes, you know, this is like a long-term thing, I've got time sort of thing. But now I'm trying to get it more into business, you know. You've got to work on certain time frames, you've got to get things done with a certain time, take it much more seriously. So even trying to get myself out of that frame of thinking into, right now I've got to, it's not, oh, it doesn't matter whether I do it or not, you know, if I fancy doing it, I'll do it sort of thing. Now it's much more, actually, if I want to take this seriously, I do need to grip down and actually do things within a certain time frame. So I think having a mentor, that's what helps, is to make you accountable. So I know I spoke to some of the mentees there, and one of the things they found really valuable as well was having the accountability. So they come once a month, and if 1 month they come and they say, this is what I'm going to do for next month, they don't want to turn up the following month not having done it, so that makes them do it. So that's a good way of, you know, having accountability and being with like-minded people. The other thing is, if you are with people that are doing the same thing, and everybody you speak to, they're doing the same thing, you just think that's the norm, you know, that's really normal to do that. So again, it gives you that confidence to go, oh, okay, that's not weird that what I'm doing, because on a day-to-day setting, it might just sound very strange what you're doing, because people get fearful, think, why do you want to do that? What are you doing that for? So I tend to keep very quiet about what I do. So, but then in this sort of environment, it's fine, you know, you can be yourself, you can chat about things, it's normal. Yeah, so, and it encourages you to look at the other person and go, oh, they've done that, that's interesting, that's not so scary, someone's done that already, so, you know, I could possibly do that as well. So that gives you encouragement as well.
You can tell I love sharing information on property because it is what works. If you want more in-depth information, consider the mentoring programme. If you hop onto our website, you can read all about it.